Welcome to Menu Planning Saturday. It feels like forever since I actually did a video saying what the menu plan is, because the last 2 Saturdays I just threw the text up on a picture. But let's get into what we're going to have for dinner this week. We have Mexican beef and barley casserole. I have frozen some barley, so I'm going to give this recipe a whirl, and it uses ingredients I already have, or I could use again later on. This week I choose a recipe from my recipe binder that I began over a decade ago, and it's kind of cheating because it used to be on my Pinterest board, and I would just take the recipe off of Pinterest for, convenience sake, but that website is no longer in existence, so I had to go to my recipe binder for it. So does that count? I don't know. I'm going to count it just because I'm too tired otherwise. But the recipe is spaghetti, which is like a baked spaghetti pizza dish, and a salad. I still have a partial tube of ham from the food bank. I think I have maybe 3 more meals I could get out of it. So we're going to do pineapple ham fried rice with egg rolls. By now, in menu planning, I was starting to lose my creative gusto, so we just put in sandwich melts, chips, and fruit, which I found out today from my daughter is one of her favorite dinners because she just likes the simplicity of the meal and how we all just hang out at dinner and chat with chips on the table and fruit and a lot of self-serve style. So that was kind of sweet to hear. Just goes to show your dinners don't have to be complicated to create sweet memories. Once a month, I try to do a take on an English Sunday dinner, but it's fairly Americanized. It's just the concept of that bigger meal. And it's funny because I will say this is the most American version of the Sunday roast dinner that we have had so far. And it is boneless country-style pork ribs. It's going to be a first time making it in the crock pot with like barbecue sauce. And then roasted green beans. It's kind of like a baked potato, but it's like a roasted halved whole potato, and cornbread. Tell me it doesn't get any more American than that I'm putting in a Sunday roast British-esque scenario. And then my mom treats us to Chinese takeout once a month, and it's the end of the month already to do that. It's so crazy. And then I think I have down 1 night of leftovers, but there'll be more nights of leftovers if we can stretch it. And this is our last Wednesday Aldi shopping. We were thinking of making a permanent if the good shopper we like at Aldi was always shopping for us on Wednesday, but she only happened to shop 1 time for us, and every other time were the 2 shoppers we're not fans of. So we might go back to our Monday or Tuesday pickup. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out when the time comes. But that's it. That's what we got going on. My husband returns to work on Monday. Spring break is over. Our spring break was kind of blah between my post-viral fatigue. My son got whatever I had a week ago, and he is still bark coughing. Like, he didn't get it nearly as bad as me, and he recovered much faster, but he's still coughing. My daughter's still coughing, but her cough is phlegmy. Fortunately, my mom was only congested 1 day and then was fine, but we're still dealing with her arthritis flare-up and overactive bladder symptoms. And we got her like a medical button. Like, she has a fall button, like I've fallen and I can't get up type of button that alerts outside authorities. But we got like it's like a pager system where she presses a button and a little pager goes off that my husband and I can hear. So that in the night when she's getting up, we can go be with her, because the arthritis in her knee makes her unsteady. And she's actually doing so much better than she was. She's adapted really well. And using the mental tools we've given her, but we still like to be there until we get this figured out with the pain management. So, and because of her overactive bladder, she wakes every 45 minutes to an hour to attempt to go to the bathroom. So it's kind of like having a newborn right now, which is not helping the fatigue. But we do what we gotta do, right? She did see her new primary, like I mentioned in a previous video. We do a follow-up in a month after blood work, and then we'll discuss everything going on with her. And then I don't remember if I brought this up. My husband needs a root canal. We found that out a couple days before the car accident. He chipped a tooth. Well, we were eating some Aldi pizza. And it needs a root canal before the cap or whatever. So he has to go to an oral surgeon first because our dentist doesn't do root canals. So yeah. There's just a lot going on, and this spring break just wasn't, my husband says it was what it needed to be. But it was not the spring break I'm sure one hopes for. But it is what it is. All right. I hope you have a good weekend and that you're doing okay. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.